Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for another one coming soon. Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming. I appreciate you guys and your patience waiting on me to come out with another video. It was a little bit of a wait. We took a vacation this year. It was supposed to be like a trip instead of a large Christmas for our kids. My wife did scale back some. They still had a good Christmas, but this was kind of like our family Christmas present. We ended up going on a cruise. This is our second ever cruise. For me, it was a lot better than the first one. January, we went down to the Bahamas and Mexico. The temperatures were quite nice down there. When we left here in where we live in North Carolina, it was like 75, and by the time we got back, the highs were like in the 30s, lows were in the teens, and now they're calling for snow. And I'm pretty excited about the snow. But anyways, we'll jump into the video where I'm going to show you guys another PSA return. So I've had a lot of PSA returns recently because I had a slew of subs that I sent out probably November-ish, maybe some in October. I can't remember exactly when I sent all of these out. Some were prior, some a little bit later. I'm not actually showing you every one of them. Some of them are just like a few single cards, like John for Mega Evolution. He pulled a Mega Gardevoir, the special illustration rare. We got that back. He got a 10. He sold it to me. Thankfully, on all the cards that my kids or my wife pulled, those cards have been they were in good condition. Nothing happened to them. They even got 10, so I bought back the ones that they've sold to me. They've kept some of them as well, but it's kind of cool to add those to my personal collection. But anyways, this is just a sub where I sent in some different cards, and I think some of these were that I'd gotten from local game stores, and I picked out some of the best ones to go to PSA. And of course, this right here, I had a bunch of Gengar, as many of you saw on Instagram. Um, those are gone now. I don't have those anymore. Somebody did pick up all of those Gengar, but I was trying to get a few 10s because PSA 10s were going for like 200 bucks. I don't know what they're going for now. So we got a 9 on this one. So I don't think I can win on the 9s, but I don't know. I'll check the prices. I'm not really that familiar. Got a Salamence CX, pulled the Mint 9. This one's pretty strong for a 9. Um, I looked at it and it might have some potential for a regrade. It's not like a perfect 10 or anything, but I didn't really see any white dots. Same thing with this Charizard V, very strong 9 for the Charizard V. Has the potential to where on a different day maybe you would have got a 10, but 9 still, it's not like it's perfect. Like the centering's just a little off. Maybe you can make out a little bit of edge wear if you're looking around super close to the card, but as you can see, there's nothing major or obvious. This Charizard EX had an 8. I pretty much agree with the grade. You know, on a good day, maybe it would have went to a 9, but I don't think it would have gotten a 10. It does have, I believe, there's a small white dot right here, and maybe a little potential for some edge wear there. So I can kind of see where the 8 come from. We got 9 on the Charizard EX illustration rares. I'm not going to explain every single card, but for the most part, I haven't been through everything in depth in this. I went through it one time when I got it out to make sure that nothing was damaged. I try to make sure I do that and report the damage as quick as possible if that ever happens. It's actually pretty rare now with PSA. They double box most everything, and there's extra padding available that they put inside of the box where the cards are, and then there's like paper padding on the outside of that box, and then you've got your outside box. And I love the fact that they use that water tape because so much stuff gets stolen and tampered with now in the mail, which is very unfortunate. But it is an unfortunate truth. This one I looked at. I did check that one because I thought this was packed fresh. But 8, I pretty much agree with. Maybe it could have been bumped 1. The Alakazam EX. This is one that you have a tendency to see in either 9 or 10 because really, if the centering's good on it, the condition seems to always be pretty sharp around the corners. So I did well on both of those. Suicune V. I remember picking a few of these up from local card stores. I want to say it was like in the $30, $35 range, but it's been so long, I may not have that right. So got a couple 10s there. Every time I open up one of those Zap decks, you know, I try to submit the Pikachus, either CGC or PSA. Out of all of the Shadowless Pikachus that I've sent in, at this point, probably 100 or so, I have yet to get a PSA 10 or a CGC Pristine 10. And they all look, I mean, they look pretty decent to me, but I have gotten some regular Gem Mint 10s from CGC. And those have sold well. My last one sold for 300 bucks, which is way up from where it was. It was at like 200, and so that was like a $100 jump for my last copy of a Gem Mint 10. And then prior to that, you know, I was selling them for about $100 or so. So I'm not too sure. The PSA 9s, I think that it drops off pretty hard from even like the CGC Gem Mint 10, but I'll check. You know, I think these were around like 70 bucks or so for the 9, and then for the 8s, I want to say it was probably down another 20 or 30 bucks. But who knows? I know vintage has been really booming right now, and you can see the centering's off, you know, some on this, and it probably wasn't my brightest move submitting it with some modern cards, especially. I'm not too sure what it was submitted with. If you notice, a lot of these cards, I pull them straight out of the box. If you have any experience with PSA, you know that you'll submit them in order. Sometimes you'll get cards back in the exact order that you submitted them in, or like, and it'll show in the certification number. But then other times there'll be like a string of where there's 10 in a row, and then it jumps around. I think it's just them trying to fit the cards in the boxes. So there's those 4. Got 2 8s, 2 9s, not too bad there. I was hoping that this one pull a 10. It probably didn't because of the centering. It is a little bit off, but also, let me see if I can show it here on camera. A lot of times these evolution graded cards, they'll have ever so slightly, it might be hard to see, etching kind of like across the top edge from like the texture. You might be able to make it out there. And I wonder at times if that's something that's counted off, you know, from graders. You can even see it a little bit on the long side as well. It's like, I don't want to put the glare up here for you guys to be blinded, but sometimes you need that glare to see the specifics. Pulled a Gem Mint 10 on the Mewtwo V. This isn't like a huge graded card, but you know, I really do like this. It's not the craziest artwork or anything like that, but it is the Chase from Pokemon Go, a set that was dogged on for the longest time, and I think it's really starting to come into its own. We got Radiant Alakazam pulled to 10, so a good mix of 9s and 10s, you know, some 8s. Got a Venusaur from the Classic Collection. Again, I think this one had a white dot. Yeah, right there in the top corner. You can see that one pretty prevalent. Pulled a 9 on the Crown Zenith Pikachu. I want to say this one was pretty nice, so I might go back and look at that one again. Usually when I go through and I say, hey, you know, I might, you know, regrade this again, I would say 8 times out of 10 I probably don't. I find something when I start looking at it in a stronger light, and like, you know, let me just go ahead and sell it. Like right now, out of all the other submissions, other than the Rapidash one, I did regrade a lot of those Rapidash. Not with PSA. I sent those to CGC. I'm going to see how they do. But with a lot of my other, like out of all of the other submissions, I think I've got a handful of maybe like 5 or 6 cards that I'm going to attempt to regrade. Got a Gengar. Cosmos pulled another 9. So far, no 10s on that. There's a Zeraora VMAX. Pretty easy 10 on this card. The condition is usually very nice from Crown Zenith. Overall, again, a pretty decent submission so far. Some of these cards, like Radiant Greninja, I would like to think that I'm not going to submit this card unless I'm pretty sure like it's going to get a 10. And so in this case, thankfully it did. Here we have a Gem Mint 10 on the Cosmos Gengar. So definite boost on a card. You know, this is like, what, a $2 or $3 card, or it was. I know it went up to like $5 or so or something like that. Coming out of a very cheap pack. But, you know, when it gets to the 10, it's not that easy to get 10s on these cards. The price definitely jumps. I need to see if I got any swirls in here. I thought that was a swirl there for a second, but it is not. The swirl is actually up here, so it means that I likely don't have anything in that picture. I got another 10 here. So 2 10s, 3 9s so far. There's an 8, and you know, just to look at the quality of an 8, you can see that there's a white dot up here in the top left. Again, you guys might not be able to immediately see it because I'm holding it back so far, but I can see that white dot. Maybe a tiny one there. Centering overall is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it would have been within, you know, the margins. Here we have another 10. It'd be nice to have a 10 with like a nice swirl in the moon. This one actually has, let's see, I thought I saw a swirl right there, but maybe I didn't. See if I can find it on here, then show it to you guys. No, maybe not. Maybe there's no swirl on this one. But there's 3 10s. What was that? 4 9s, 1 8, 2 8s. The 8s, I mean, I would think for sure that the 8s are going to be a loss, but hopefully the 10s are, there's enough of those that they can make up for it. It's a cool 9. Got a swirl right there. We're not going to say what kind of swirl that is. Went 3 for 3 on the Suicune V, so definitely happy with those. Another 9. This is a really nice card. I like this Roaring Moon EX. I'm not sure what the price on this is, but got the Scream Tail. What else is in here? Got the Misdreavus, or it might be Fluttermane. I guess these would be ancient Pokemon. I'm not sure the names of those two other ancients, but we all know that's Salamence. But Roaring Moon's a pretty cool name. Conkeldurr V, the other alternate art from Pokemon Go. Pulled the 10 there. Got another 10 on the Roaring Moon. 10 on Beedrill V. Very nice card. I love the artwork on that one. Now, I'd submitted these thinking that I was going to do pretty good, but they did not. Got an 8 and a 9. And I want to say it was because of, centering, because the condition looks pretty good, which you can see they're kind of shifted down and over a little bit, and that's probably why. Now, this one right here, this Espeon VMAX, I bought, I want to say, like a little bit above market price for raw at the time, but it was because it looked like it was going to get a 10. I was like, you know what, maybe we'll just go ahead and take that chance, and it did. So this one's in a case because it is going back into my personal collection. I like the Espeon VMAX. I think it's got some potential. Now, this is technically another sub right here. This is these are cards that I submitted on the, I want to say, the regular level, so the cost of grading was higher. It was like 35, 40 bucks, something like that. And so I was expecting, you know, a better chance at getting those 10s. In fact, let me put it off to the side that way I don't spoil each card. But this first one right here, the Charizard VMAX, I do believe this one does have potential still to get a 10. It is a little off center, but I don't think it was enough to keep it from it, because I was comparing it to the other 10s that I have in my personal collection. And this one's really nice. This is a good copy. The centering really was the only thing that pulled it back a little bit, but the condition was really good. And a lot of times they've got something going on with the corner. This is a metal Pikachu. I bought this metal Pikachu and a metal Charizard off of somebody. The 8, I believe that's actually, I agree with the grade, or it might even be a little high. I'm not sure how they ding the condition on these for like defects in the surface. I don't remember this defect, but you can definitely see it. It's going to be right here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. It's like in that corner. So they dropped it 2 grades, or maybe it was 1 grade for that, 1 grade for something else. But overall, I think 8. That card's probably maxed out. 9 on this Charizard. Of course, I want to get the 10, right? But I believe this is probably maxed out at the 9. It's so easy. Like, this one was pretty clean, but like the surface of these cards, they're very delicate. This one you can make out a little bit, but I think for this one it looked like a little bit of gold, silver. I don't even know if I can pick it up, but like I can see it with my eyes, like right in here. So just a little bit of silvering or golding, whatever you want to call it. So I think that Charizard as well is maxed out at a 9. This Charizard VMAX, I still like this card. I think it's got some potential. It's like the hit from Shining Fates, and it's still, I mean, it's a Charizard VMAX. It's shiny, looks really nice. So I've still been setting these back. They're just so easy to grade, and they're all over the place. I don't know what kind of potential there is in the long run. Here we have a gold Mega Charizard. This is a Japanese one. I believe I bought this right at release. I want to say for like 700 bucks or so. I have no idea if this thing is tanked beyond being able to make a profit or not, but still a really cool card. I like it. I don't think I'm going to be adding it to my personal collection, though, since I removed a lot of the modern Japanese Charizards. All right, next up we have some stamp box Pikachus. Got 2 right here. They're sequential. I had bought 2 stamp boxes off of Delibird, and then I ended up grading these. I was like, you know what, let me just take a shot. I think there's more potential here if I can get the 10s. And, you know, even at the 9s, you don't lose that much money. So both of these did end up getting the 10s. And I did see where Cam was posting about a $7,000 plus sale for one of these through Golden, which is crazy. I just sold one of these for like $2,200. That was over a week ago. Who knows? Maybe they have went up since then. I'm going to check. As soon as I'm done with the video, you know, I should be selling some of these cards. And then the final 2 cards, we've got also the Cramorants from those 2 boxes. One got a 9, one got a 10. And I agree with this 9. I think that's probably capped on it as well. Might even be a little high. So if you look across the top, you can see a white dot. And if you get a white dot on there's actually a couple white dots. A white dot on the back of a Japanese new back Pokemon card, I mean, usually that's going to drop it a grade immediately. And it did in this case. So I think 9 is about as high as that's going to get. I mean, of course, the front looks like a 10, but it's just those, for whatever reason, there's a little bit of edge wear on the top. on the back side there. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm letting you guys see some of the cards I graded. Again, these were at the little bit higher tier. As you can see, it wasn't a big submission, and those other ones, I can't remember if I had any upcharges there. I did have some upcharges on the Pikachus, if I remember right. I don't think there was anything else that had an upcharge. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you do plan on submitting to PSA, there's always my code that you can use, TCA25. It'll give you $25 off your first submission. I get a kickback as well. I appreciate all of you who have used that code. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for another one coming soon.